Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Coffee and. Oh, hold on just a second. This is very interesting. Hold on just 1 second. Do, 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 do. Ah, that's more like it. Good morning, everyone. I didn't realize my microphone was not plugged in. And it is plugged in now. So, welcome back to Coffee and Headlines. This is our morning get together live here on Facebook, where we take a look at, oh my God, I need to shave. Look at that. Where we take a look at headlines from our city, our state, our country. We take a look at what's happening in Puerto Vallarta, what we can do to enjoy ourselves, what we can do to survive and prosper in this beautiful city we call home as a community of English speaking locals. And yes, it is that time of the week. It is Friday, so it is Friday, July 16. We're going to see what we have in the news today. As usual, well, there are good news, there are important news, there are all kinds of news to share today, and we're going to fly through them as we usually do, and then we are going to take a look at your comments and see what everything is all about, what you guys are up to. As always, if this is your first time with us, we would appreciate it if you can let us know you're new by writing the word new. And if you have an important comment to make, especially one that is directed to me during the broadcast, it helps a lot if you add the letter Q to your comment. And also, it helps me identify comments that you're hoping that I'll respond to against or versus comments in which you're just having a lovely conversation among yourselves. Okay, so we have the news. Let us get started with the news, actually, because, well, it's the news. Let's see. 5 more COVID-19 deaths were reported in different parts of Puerto Vallarta overnight, including a 20-year-older that apparently gave the disease to his mother, a 50-year-old woman with hypertension in Colonia Infonavit, a 77-year-old woman with a heart condition in the same neighborhood, a 62-year-old woman with diabetes in Colonia Lopez Mateos, a 48-year-old man in Colonia Independencia, and the list continues. It just keeps going on. This is so sad and unfortunate. In a story that is just developing, a group of Guadalajara problems again. Sound is off. I see my. Oh, I think my sound is fine, guys. Please let me know if you are not getting any sound. I'm going to continue with the news, and I'm going to be reading your comments as I go. Anyhow, this is a story that is just developing. Guadalajara parents, sound is very crackly and not clear. Sound is, I am over modulating a bit. Dry Ginny. What the hell is dry Ginny? Fuzzy sound. Poor sound quality, scratchy sound, crackly sound. Sound is fuzzy. Audio has static. Please do continue. A lot of clipping and raspiness. Audio has static. Sound is odd. It's better now. I have done everything I can at my end. So if sound continues to be not good, I can do one of two things. I can stop the broadcast and restart again in a little bit less than 5 minutes, or we can continue as we are going. My words are being echoed. Very little thing I can do about that, Luis. A lot of times these things have to do with the internet. Okay, I am going to continue. Anyhow, as I was telling you in a developing story, this is a story about Guadalajara parents whose teenage sons and daughters traveled to Puerto Vallarta for graduation trips, and now the parents are finger pointing our city after their sons and daughters travel to Puerto Vallarta to celebrate their graduation and contracting the coronavirus here. It was apparently at the Hotel Crown Paradise Golden, where the youngsters crossed paths with other students from Sonora, Aguascalientes, Nuevo León, and Guanajuato, and authorities are presently involved in tracing this particular situation. Needless to say, we're going to hear more about this, or maybe not. Um, Moving right along, we had announced this in the last couple of days. There is a decision as to, or there's a debate as to whether we should get back into school in the month of August. And now, Mexico President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador has announced that school return this month is imminent, this coming month. And students will be, of course, given the option of not going to school if they don't want to go to school. However, school will be coming back to session all over Mexico this coming month. In Guadalajara, the Secretary of Transport has instructed all city bus companies, and I suppose they mean those in the entire state, to enforce their sanitary guidelines among passengers. This means that bus companies will be expected to do more training or more awareness with their drivers, and there could be even more inspections on buses to make sure that both the drivers of the units and the passengers are following the current guidelines. We learned so far this year, for example, that bus drivers in the state of Jalisco have received 2,965 fines for not wearing a face mask or wearing it improperly, along with 3,102 reprimands, or the so-called apercibimientos, to passengers. We perceive that you're not wearing a face mask, so we're just going to let you know that. We don't know if any of these fines have actually been applied in Puerto Vallarta, or if they have been applied everywhere throughout the state. Then we have this one about Foro Sur. Foro Sur is a large venue in the city of Guadalajara, where an electronic music concert took place. The venue had authorization to welcome 600 members of the audience, and when inspectors came, they found 3,000 people inside of the theater. So the venue is being fined 3.6 million pesos, which sounds absolutely astronomical, but let us hope that these types of fines make different venues and business owners realize that the government means business when it comes to following the guidelines, at least this time around. Let us take a quick look at the weather just to see what is going on for this weekend for us. Our weatherman says, I would never plan a coup with you. I don't know who's planning a coup these days. A coup with a P at the end, or is it a coup? I don't know if it's a coup or a coup. Maybe it's a coup of Koofy or something like that. What I do know is that it is 25 degrees right now. It feels like 29. Humidity is high, 100%. And our temperature is 78 degrees Fahrenheit for those of you that like the F temperature. The F temperature. There's a 20% chance of rain this very moment, but what the weather forecast actually says is that we won't have rain until the evening. We'll expect a high temperature of 32 and a low temperature of 24 for today. On Saturday, tomorrow, we will have possible light rain in the evening and overnight with a high temperature of 32, low temperature of 25. On Sunday, we can expect rain in the evening and overnight with a high temperature of 31, low temperature of 23. And that is our weather forecast for today. We can now continue with a couple of other um, headlines that I wish to share with you. For starters, just a clarification. Yesterday, somebody mentioned a new tropical storm. Her name is Felicia. But as you can see from the weather map, Felicia is not heading towards the mainland. It's heading away from the mainland. So, bye, Felicia. As I've said, as I've heard, where did that expression come from? Who is Felicia? I should look that up because I see that when people want to dismiss somebody in a not so very kind way, they use that expression. Bye, Felicia. Um, if you know where that came from, please let me know because I have no idea. And of course, we are approaching the second half of July, and then comes August and Mexican Independence Month. Before you know it, it's right around the corner. As you know, Mexico celebrates its independence on September 16. And of course, um, everybody begins wondering, well, what kind of celebration can we expect? We haven't seen much of announcements just yet, but the Jalisco Philharmonic, did go ahead and announce a major uh, concert, a mariachi gala that is going to take place at the Telmex Auditorium in the city um, of Guadalajara. This concert will take place on September the 17th, and apparently it will be broadcast. I don't know exactly if it's going to be filmed with people at the theater, and I am sure that they don't have an answer to that question either. But it is nice to see that one way or another, something is going to be happening to address such an important date in Mexico's history, the date of our independence. And but closer to home, I also want to let you know that the Riviera Market, the outdoor market that takes place at the Parque Lineal near Pitillal, is going to be happening again this Saturday. So if you want to wander about and see what is, this market is all about, you are more than welcome to check it out. And I'm going to leave you with more information in the show notes as we usually do. So let me now go back to your comments, and let's see what we have. Lots of good mornings, as always. Lots of good mornings. Uh, Lance says, Good Friday morning. Was starting to get worried about the show. I don't quite understand why, but if there's something that worries you, Lance, do let me know. Good mornings from all over the place. Good mornings from Spokane, from Minnesota. Oh, good morning. Mango Fork mission accomplished. Set of 4 for 28.90 pesos at La Comer. Good for you, Sly. Now, here's the important thing. Remember, these things have a little sharp thing at the end. So when you're holding the mango fork, okay, here's I need a mango. I don't have a mango, but let's say I have a mango here, and here's a fork. Here's a fork, my kazoo. The fork is going up in the middle, and you want to get close to where the mango was attached to the stem, and you want to like kind of gently poke in there until you find the bone, the seed, and you want to start pushing up until you have a firm grasp on the seed. Now, the mango fork will want to slide sideways on the seed. Remember, mango seeds are very thin. So it is very important that you do this carefully because you don't want to end up poking a hole through your hand as you're trying to force the mango fork into the fruit. So just drive carefully with that. It is a weapon of mass destruction in the improper hands. Let's see what else we have. Lots of descriptions of the sound. I apologize for that, and at the same time, I am grateful that you are paying attention. I think what I noticed is that my good microphone was unplugged because sometimes I unplug it to do other maintenance stuff. And when I replugged it in at the beginning of the broadcast, things got a little bit out of control, but I think we were able to figure them out. Um, oh my goodness, Dave, you just took words right out of my mouth. Everything you are saying is, I would have said. And I hear you. And I think that this is a sentiment that many of us are dealing with. For me, it's challenging because, we come here to try to give some semblance of hope and good vibe and good energy, and reading the headline sometimes it's difficult. So I will invite you, Dave, and anybody else that is feeling a little bit forlorn, and what a great word that is to celebrate what you can. Celebrate the little things. Celebrate that you got curious about a recipe on YouTube and you decided to try it at home. Celebrate the fact that you finally were able to reach out to someone that you hadn't spoken with in a while because you got in touch with them through social media. Find something. That's what yours truly is doing. Little things just to keep me happy and optimistic. And I always tell my friends, um, thank you. Because indeed, my friends and you are part of that exercise. The people that I've chosen to surround myself with are important pillars in my well-being, and I sure hope that for your well-being, you have important pillars in your life. Let's see what else. Let's see what else. Do 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 do. More sound things. More sound things. But I think we solved the sound things, and this is good. Uh, this is a metaphoric question, I'm sure. Did the graduates not know to stay in their bubble? Well, Lynn, what can I tell you? I know to stay in my bubble. I think people choose to act on staying in their bubble, and some people choose not to. And that's just the unfortunate nature of the beast. Catherine asks, are vaccines in PB being offered to those students 12 and over? Catherine, if you were a Puerto Vallarta resident, you would know the answer to that question. Unless you are a Puerto Vallarta resident, but you're clearly not connected with the situation. The answer to your question, wherever you may be, is that no, students 12 and over are not being offered vaccines. The only vaccines that have been announced is the youngest age that has been announced is pre-registration started for folks that are 18 years and older. However, these vaccines have not been distributed just yet. Let's see what else. Dee-da-dee-da-da. Well, Dave, I read you, but again, it's complicated and it's going to be complicated. I think getting into this kind of argument or debate is very tempting, but we know it takes everyone involved, from the parents to the young ones to the hotels to the bus companies that made them get here, to everybody has a piece of the action here. And if everybody doesn't do something about it, then I don't know what to say. Uh, Thank you for the Felicia information. I will definitely keep that in mind. Uh, the 1995 film Friday. Now I have to watch this film because I've never seen it. And today is Friday. Maybe I'll look for it. So this is something that I should add to my watching list. Uh, Dave asks, can we use a mango fork for corn on the cob? I don't see why not, Dave, although corn on the cob has its own little gadgets as well. And Joyce says, please show how do you use. Actually, let us do this together, you and I. Let us very quickly fly into YouTube. Oh, this is so scary because when I fly into YouTube, you get to see all the things that I've been browsing lately. Actually, it's not scary. If you look at what, when I say YouTube sends me things that I'm interested in, there you go. See, YouTube is sending me a lot of international Chopin piano competition because that's what I'm watching. I get technology. I get Bianca Del Rio because she makes me laugh. I get crochet. Um, I get more pianists. I get more technology. This is what I watch on YouTube. Things that have to do with photography. Uh, Tommy Little's amazing reason for shirtless. Oh, that's definitely also on my watching. But we didn't come here to see what I like to watch. We came here to see how to use a mango fork. And check it out, Joyce Finlay. There is one explanation at the very top how to use a mango fork. Uh, the right way to use your fork and knife. No, we don't want to see that. We don't want to see how to cut a mango. But there you go, mango fork in 3 easy steps. Nothing like a mango on a fork. There you go. So there are indeed lots of explanations online, um, Joyce, such that I don't need to show you how to do it. You can empower yourself and learn how to do it yourself. Why not? Barbara House says, why not? And I have no idea what she's talking about, but that's okay. I say, why not? Ba ba dee ba ba. Let's see. But how do they feel it's someone else's responsibility? Well, again, guys, friends, we could get into this discussion, but it's talking about things that are not within our reach. All we all we try to do here is to share news so that we can be grateful for the things that we can change and the things we can empower. Can we do something about kids that came here from Guadalajara to celebrate their graduation and now they're all sick? We cannot control that. The only thing we can control is ourselves and our friends and our lives and our choices. And David has to run for a conference. Fine, be that way. No, I'm just kidding. Let's see what else. Oh, Kimberly must be. I didn't realize you were a physician, Kimberly. No 12-year-old should be vaccinated if they ever want to procreate or live further lives for some with rare DNA or compromised immune systems. Kimberly, that is a really heavy and important statement you just made. I sure hope that you are a physician or that you read that from a reliable source. Otherwise, it's the kind of information that could induce panic among some people. So, if you are a physician, please tell us a little bit more about the work that you do. We would be so happy to learn about it. Or if you read about this in a credible source, hey, please share the source because to say that no one should be vaccinated if they ever want to procreate, wow, that's heavy. That's really heavy. I would love to learn more about that research myself because it sounds rather important. Question: anyone know when we'll have water on Calle Aquila Cerdan neighborhood? Number 2 needs a flush. Oh, dog, you make my day. I would check the Siapal Facebook page to see if there have been any notifications to that effect. Siapal is very good about informing their users when the waterworks is not going to be working. So take a look at that, and hopefully you'll be able to do all the everything you need to do to continue with your lifestyle. I would want to flush myself. Da, 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 da. Good for you, Julie. I am doing exactly the same thing. Um, it's Let us just say that uh, I've been crocheting like a madman. That's what I do. Clay wants to know what's on my Friday night agenda. Um, I don't have anything planned for today, and I couldn't be happier for that, Clay. I don't have to leave the house today. And oh, I'm expecting the exterminator at 6 o'clock because it started to rain. Little critters are, starting to appear from everywhere. So my exterminator is coming. We begin our monthly maintenance here at the apartment. Tomorrow, I'm going upriver to where there are less people. I'm going to have a good time with some friends, and I really hope that's going to be a wonderful time. Paco, how can I send you the pictures of your followers that been here at Rincon Culichi having a taco baja? And as always, thank you for your support. You can send them to me via my email address, which is listed on the FAQ. You can send them as a chat to Coffee and Headlines. We have a place where you can send a message. You can try either one of those options, and I will be happy to share them with other people. Let's see what else. Kimberly explains that she listened to a doctor who is a credible source. Good. If that's good enough for you, Kimberly, I'm happy for that. I personally am very careful about the information we share here at Coffee and Headlines because um, there comes a certain responsibility with sharing such important information as what you just shared with us. So I will continue to fight for credibility and to hope that we have credible sources. Not that I am saying that your doctor is not credible, but unfortunately, your doctor is not here to let us know where your doctor read this information. And I think we are at the end of the broadcast. Da, 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 da. Oh, on its website, the Centers for Disease Control says there is currently no evidence that any vaccines, including COVID-19 vaccines, cause fertility problems. Thank you very much for that, Rox. That is the kind of information that we like to hear and read. Question from Salam: has anyone been able to obtain the online vaccination certificate for the official website from the official website? Our friend Matthew from Mexico City, who watches regularly and who told me early this week that he hasn't been watching because he's in the middle of orchestra rehearsals of one kind or another. He has obtained his certificate successfully. He posted so a few days ago here on the broadcast. Uh, Peter McCullough, MD at Texas A&M. Kimberly, again, thank you very much for this, but we are not going to Google the good doctor because a doctor is not a news source. A doctor is a doctor. Um, Sorry, that's my stance. Let's see what else we have. Da, 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 da. Oh, my sister has. Thank you very much. Karen has received her certificate. That's wonderful. Um, so it is happening. It is happening. Facebook likes fake news. Well, fake news can be fun to read. You know, but we try to make our distinction between fake news and real news. Anyhow, I think we are pretty much at the end of of the broadcast today. Salam, it's our pleasure to try to make the connections. If you have problems with the procedure, hopefully it's just a temporary glitch, and you'll be able to solve the problem and get your certificate printed out, particularly if you wish to travel. And this is what we have for today. As always, I thank you for your company. I thank you for the information that you share, your questions, your suggestions, and your ongoing returns to Coffee and Headlines. Every time I see you, I am very happy to see that people love to keep coming back, and that's what we love about what we do. Stay kind, stay hopeful, stay optimistic. Read the information, stay informed, but don't let it get to you. Find ways to make good things every day, little things for yourself, for your loved ones, for your home, for your pets. You know, hold on to the things that we can actually celebrate and change, and let's try to make the best of it. Have an awesome weekend. Maybe I'll see you tomorrow, and if not, maybe I'll see you next week, and if not, maybe I'll see you sometime in the future. Have a great day.